Yeah, I know.
Great. Thanks, Lynn. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining the opening ceremony for this next really exciting hackathon on DoraHacks. This one is hosted by none other than Avalanche and Avalabs, along with some really great sponsors, Particle Network, Covalent, Movement Labs, Chainlink, and Paladin. The name of this hackathon is the Decentralized Consumer Apps Hackathon. And it's actually one of the very first Avalanche hackathons we're hosting on DoraHacks this year. So it's a really exciting opportunity for AVAX developers to get their hands dirty with some really new, like really interesting Avalanche technology and like Avalanche tracks because their ecosystem has been growing very quickly over the last couple of years. And this hackathon will definitely give all of the developers in our community a really good opportunity to get more involved. So we're super excited to be bringing it to you now. It's definitely one of the most unique hackathons of the winter months this year. So we're kind of starting off 2024 on a really large high note. So excited to be bringing this to you. And this purpose of this session is to kick it off, essentially. This is the opening ceremony. So thanks everyone for tuning in. If you have any questions at any point in time, you can feel free to DM me. If this is the first opening ceremony you've attended, my name's Brian. I'm from DoraHacks. And you can reach out on Twitter, on Discord, on Telegram. My handle's at Brian Dora. And if you have any questions about this hackathon, I'm more than happy to walk you through it. And I have a lot to go over related to it, but before I do, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce my co-host of this opening ceremony, Usman from Ava Labs. He's a DevRel over there, and he's going to be able to introduce a lot more about this hackathon as well.
Thanks so much, Brian, for the awesome intro. Um, yeah, hey everyone, my name's Usman. I'm a developer relations engineer at Ava Labs. We're the team behind the Avalanche blockchain, and I'm really excited to be here today. Uh, this is our first hackathon, at least from my time here at Ava Labs with DoraHacks, and it's gearing up to be a pretty big one. So, to give you guys a little bit more background information or context, if you're not familiar with Avalanche, Avalanche is a network of networks. So we're a blockchain network where typically you would come to build your own blockchain. We have a novel consensus mechanism at the base layer. So due to that novel consensus mechanism, we wanted to really solve a lot of key problems that were found with blockchain, right? So when Bitcoin was first introduced to us, it introduced this idea of money, right? Of money on the blockchain, right? Decentralized currency that no one controlled, and it used a consensus mechanism that was very decentralized and very the idea was to scale to an infinite number of participants and nodes. But what was quickly realized was that when you're scaling to an infinite number of nodes, coordinating all those validators and coordinating all those network participants is very clunky and slow and expensive. And in classical consensus, which has been studied for many years in computer science, having a small set of validators was actually the norm, and having a small set of centralized validators that you could control was a very normal thing, and it actually was a very efficient process as well. But what you saw was that there was no consensus mechanism that effectively allowed uh, builders to have infinite number of nodes while also being able to efficiently handle all those nodes within the network and coordinate them. And that's where Avalanche Consensus was born. It was born out of Cornell University, where our CEO and a couple of his students had written this consensus mechanism trying to solve this issue. How do we solve for an infinite number of scalable nodes while maintaining full efficiency within a blockchain network? And once that was solved and Avalanche Consensus and Snowman Consensus were born, they built a network on top of it. So because the consensus mechanism is so open and so scalable, the idea was that you can build whatever kind of blockchain that you want on top of the Avalanche network. And so we took the consensus mechanism, built some blockchains on top of it, but Avalanche truly is the best place to build your own blockchain. So if you want to build your own blockchain, build your own blockchain network, you could come plug in any virtual machine you like, whether that's the EVM, whether that's Solana virtual machine, whether that's Move virtual machine, or if you want to build your own using some of our custom frameworks. We also have the ability to have a fully permissioned blockchain network akin to a classical consensus, where you could have a private control of your validators and they can be completely private, or you can have it be fully permissionless, where anyone can join the network and validate and have as many as you'd like. And you can write code in many different languages. So we have a full ethos of openness and flexibility within building, and we just want to give developers as many options as possible. Um, and the reason we're running this hackathon here today is because we've seen a huge influx and a huge excitement around social consumer applications within our network. Within the blockchain space, for the past couple of years, we've seen a huge influx of infrastructure level applications coming into play and being very successful. And 3 years ago, when I started in this industry as a developer, a lot of the key pieces of infrastructure that are now present today, like particle network, like Chainlink, like Covalent, these things weren't as mature 3 years ago. And as today, now that we have all these tools available to us to make the developer experience of a consumer application much cleaner and much nicer, we decided to throw this hackathon to really be able to see what really interesting applications people can build. At the end of the day, the ethos of this industry is to rebuild broken systems with technology that just works better, right? And there are so many different really cool apps on the consumer side that we can put in the hands of real users that can change social experiences that may already exist, or change applications that may already exist and disrupt them using blockchain. There's so many awesome opportunities out there. So we really wanted to tap into that and host this hackathon here for you. So I'm just going to walk through our landing page for the hackathon a bit, kind of give you a rundown on some of the key logistical things that are going to be taking place, and hopefully we can illuminate some light on everything that we have going on here. So we're going to be co-hosting this hackathon with DoraHacks, who will be the hackathon provider, and we'll also be going with Particle Network. Particle Network is a really cool account abstraction platform where you can come and take away a lot of Web 2 or Web 3 feeling of an application and make it very smooth, make the developer experience very clean and crisp. So we thought it was only right to bring in one of the best in the space for that, to partner alongside of us. So to give you guys some logistics on the overall hackathon, the hackathon will be a month long. It just started last week in terms of registrations. And then this upcoming week, we'll be having our workshop programming. So we'll be having workshops hosted from everyone who is sponsoring. That will include the Avalanche team, that will include Covalent, that will include Chainlink, that will include Particle Network and Paladin, and the movement team. So you'll be able to see some really interesting workshops geared on different things, whether that's account abstraction, social fly, the move programming language. So it's going to be a really fun week next week. And then we'll be hosting office hours every week from, I believe the date we decided on was every Thursday. And you'll be able to come and talk to some of the judges on a weekly basis, ask them for advice, ask them for one-on-one insight as to how your project is going. So this is a really interesting section right here. We wanted to give a little bit of inspiration as to what we want to really see built out of this hackathon. At the end of the day, consumer applications can mean a lot of different things. The DeFi app that you use on a daily basis, that is at the end of the day a consumer application. But what we're really trying to focus on is this idea of social media platforms or digital marketplaces, where the the goal is that in most cases, these digital marketplaces are really centralized entities playing ground, right? One entity controls a network. One entity has all the incentivization to make that network grow, and they end up being the key entity to profit off of the growth of that network. And we believe, core thesis that we have at Ava Labs is that the next generation of applications built will be built on top of decentralized blockchain rails, right? And these rails will enable individuals to do some really unique incentivization mechanisms where not just the entity that created the platform is profiting, but also the creators and the users are being rewarded for their engagement. Um, we've been big proponents of the decentralized physical infrastructure sector as well within the industry. And we've had ideas of a two-sided marketplace where sort of like Uber or Airbnb, but instead of Uber or Airbnb being the one to be the one that benefits, it's actually the users of the platform that are the ones who own and engage and benefit from the openness of that network. So if that sounds like interesting to you, if that sounds like something you want to build, and if that sounds like in the realm of things that you've been thinking about building, but just haven't gotten a chance to be able to do so yet, well, you're in the right place because this is exactly the kind of builder we're looking for. We're looking for someone who wants to, um, you know, rebuild these applications with blockchain rails in mind and really think about this idea of decentralization and user ownership and incentivization with the user in mind. So we really brought together a handful of some of the best names in the industry to help run this hackathon with us. We didn't want to make the pool of people who are sponsoring too large. We just thought we wanted people who it made sense for us to include and who we believed would be beneficial to having included in these kinds of applications. So first off, we included Particle Network, which is the intent-centric modular access layer of Web3. I know that sounds like a lot, but they're really based on UX and improving through their SDKs and APIs. Really cool platform. You'll be using that in any application that you create. Um, Chainlink is the industry-leading Oracle service. They also have some really, really interesting things that they empower using Chainlink functions, which allows you to bring off-chain APIs on-chain. So there's some really interesting bounties for on-chain APIs, as well as cross-chain transactions using CCIP from Chainlink. Will be really interesting to see some different applications being built using some on-chain APIs. One idea that I saw proposed earlier was someone was thinking about bringing a Spotify API on chain so that they can now utilize, the different Spotify music data and then actually have some sort of ownership and incentivization attached to it on chain. So thought that was really cool. Covalent, one of the best indexers in the industry. You'll be needing their APIs throughout building any blockchain application. So we just thought it would make a lot of sense to bring that as well, and allow you to utilize your data and index it in a really clean way. The next one is actually really interesting. It's the Movement Labs bounty, or the Movement Labs team, who we also included. So what most of these bounties and what most of the hackathon is based around is the EVM, right? Most of the applications you'll probably be building using writing code in Solidity, and you'll probably deploy it in the regular way that you've been akin to. With Move, you have the ability to write applications in a completely new programming language using Move and really enable applications in a sector that we really haven't seen heavily utilized yet. So Move is a growing developer community. It's actually really up and coming. It's one that I'm a huge fan of personally. And the Move programming language is actually one that I'm a huge fan of personally as well. What you're seeing though now is with the idea of parallelization and the idea of object-orientedism with Move, the programming language, you can really build applications that you can't with Solidity. And a big chunk of those applications are actually social applications. So we're really excited to bring the Move team on as well to see some unique applications being built in their ecosystem. And if you want, they also have this EVM to Move transpiler, which you can, if you want, you can literally just take your EVM code, post it to their transpiler, and then it will convert it to Move bytecode so that you can take your regular smart contracts and have it live on their network as well. Um, and then we'll be having one of the leading smart contract auditing companies, Paladin, participate as well. So you got a really nice set of names here who are participating. Not going to be huge, but just right so that we can make sure that we have great support for the hackathon. So coming into the prizes, We're going to be having a distributed pool of over $100,000 that is open to winners of the prize. And the grand prize is $75,000, which we'll be having distributed into three different prizes, first, second, and third place. So for this, we decided to, instead of having many different bounty tracks, instead of having 75K be dispersed across 10 different bounties, we really want to see at the end of the day, really powerful projects being built and really, ones that we're excited about. We so we wanted to change the way that we did our bounties that we normally do them. We wanted to have three big bounties, right? And these bounties are fairly large for a hackathon. Especially the grand prize, which gives you $45,000 and also gives you a direct interview into our code-based accelerator program. Um, you can think of them as stipends to continue on with your company going forward. Obviously, there's going to be no restriction attached to that with the winning prize money, but the idea is that we really want to see projects who want to continue forward, right? If you're here at this hackathon, you're building because you want to start a company, because you want to move forward with your idea, because we truly believe that there is a lot of room for growth and a lot of room for success in this space, especially now. Um, so we're offering these three grand prizes. Really looking forward to seeing who wins them. To be able to be eligible for the grand prizes, so any submission must implement Particle Auth or Particle Connect into their submission. So this is basically how you connect your wallet using a social, sign in. So that could be using Google, Twitter, your email. It just makes the process of signing in and creating a wallet very easy and very smooth for the user and for the developer. And it's something that you would want anyway in a generalized Web 2 application. So we just wanted to make sure that every application will include either that or a general connection modal, which includes some social options from Particle Connect. So there's a lot of really cool information on Particle there. Be sure to take a look. Chainlink will be having two tracks in the hackathon. Now, these are separate. Now, the tracks that are going to be discussed now are separate from the grand prize of $75,000. So there's going to be a $10,000 total Chainlink track where there's going to be 5,000 going for CCIP, so 2,500 for the best project built with CCIP and Avalanche, and then 1,250 for the second and third projects built with CCIP and Avalanche. Um, then we have the Chainlink functions. This is what we were mentioning earlier regarding off-chain APIs. So kind of a similar thing here where 2,500 going to the best project and then 1,250 going to the second and third projects. Really looking forward to seeing those bounties utilized. And so the Movement Labs track will be giving out 10K in movement tokens when uh, they launch. So applications will receive a 2K bounty for deployment onto the testnet, and then specific frameworks will receive a 5K token bounty for an MVP of one feature. So for them, they've kind of expanded. You can have things like SocialFi, Web 2 applications built and move, but mainly the focus is for consumers here. And then they also have given this auxiliary idea, which is applications that continue development and launch front ends and continue to deployment and actually want to make themselves projects. You have the opportunity to, have a 20K token grant that could be granted if you were to be moving forward with them. So really cool opportunity from the Move team. This was an early team again. Any deployment onto their test net is really beneficial, and I think will yield some really cool opportunities. Covalent, they have a 5K track, so 5K distributed among three of the best projects using their unified API, their Increment BI, or their Gold Rush Block Explorer kit. So anyone who is participating, you can pick any one of those three uh, tools to use, and three of the best projects will have 5K distributed among them. And then Paladin Security will be offering a 20% discount on audits and security services for any hackathon projects participating in the hackathon. So really cool opportunity there. Audits are a big part of the industry. We're really big on security, right? And audits can get pretty expensive. So cool to see them offering that. Uh, a bit about the schedule. So registration opened last week. Next week we'll be starting the event programming, which includes the workshops and the office hours. So we'll be releasing a schedule for that tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be announcing all the different judges. We'll be announcing all the different people giving hackathons, and it'll be a really good time for next week. And then from there we'll kick off the period of building, right? And we'll be having these recurring office hours weekly on Thursdays. And then from there, you have about a month to really work on your project, grind it out. Obviously come to us for advice and help throughout the entire process, but you have a month, and then we'll be requiring submissions to be due February 19th, and then we'll be announcing winners the following week. So pretty standard stuff there. We have all the requirements, the criteria, a little bit about Avalanche, all in the useful links section. You also have links to our developer kit for all of our hackathons, our dev documentation, Avalanche Academy. I would really recommend going to Avalanche Academy if it's your first time interacting with the Avalanche network. You'll get some really cool code tutorials and just a little bit more on the network itself. And then our code base accelerator is also linked below. So this is the accelerator that we were discussing, that if you win the hackathon, you have the ability to get fast tracked into an interview process there, and then potentially some other folks who we are really excited about that maybe didn't move forward. Maybe we can also fast track you into an interview process, potentially depending on certain conversations. So this is a really interesting program. We're really excited about it, and we really want to funnel some awesome winners from this hackathon into this program. So that about does it for the general logistics. We also have a Telegram chat for all of our hackers. I believe it's linked below. Please go ahead and join that. It's going to be one of our main forms of communication other than email. We'll be able to talk one-on-one and in groups, and then also be able to send out information about cool things like the workshops that we're hosting. So that about does it for me. But again, thanks to DoraHacks for being a great partner in hosting this. We've been looking forward to this hackathon for a really long time. Again, we're really big on the consumer decentralized space here in the Web3 industry. So really excited to kick this hackathon off, and excited to see the projects that be built with it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Usman. And yeah, like can't agree enough. Like we're thrilled to be bringing this hackathon to our community and to the Web3 community in general. Absolutely one of the most exciting opportunities of the new year. And as Usman mentioned, definitely join the Avalanche Frontier Telegram group for this hackathon. I mean, that's going to be a great resource to ping ideas off of people on the Avalanche team from the sponsors, brainstorm amongst yourselves. Also, if you're looking for teams, I imagine that'd be a great place to find them. Of course, you can also come to our Discord and we'll help you find teams there as well. But definitely utilize the resource of that Telegram group. It's been commented below this video. It's also just, as of a few moments ago, uploaded on the hackathon page itself as well. So you can find it there. But definitely join that and use it as a resource to communicate with everyone involved in this hackathon. And thank you so much, Usman, for walking through all of the details of the hackathon as well. It's definitely very thorough. So I don't imagine there's any questions off out of the gates, just given how much information you provided them. But after participants are able to digest a lot of the rules and criteria for it, we'll be happy to answer any of your questions if you either come to myself or Usman after this opening ceremony. The one thing I was going to ask you, Usman, is can you share a little bit about the judging panel? But it sounds like the FOMO will have to set in for at least one more day for everyone involved, and there'll be a big reveal tomorrow. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I want to thank the audience for joining this opening ceremony as well, and I want to be mindful of your time as well. But before we wrap up, there's one last thing that it's definitely important to cover for anyone interested in participating in this hackathon, and that is, how do I submit a project to the hackathon page? So I'm just going to quickly walk through that process for everyone here. Okay, excellent. So let me share my screen real quick. All righty. Okay, so everyone can see my screen? Think so. All right. So this is what the DoraHacks platform is going to look like once you log in, right? DoraHacks.io/home. That's our website. Make sure you're not on any other, scam website. And sometimes these things happen on Twitter where people post like the incorrect links. This is our website. This is our URL, DoraHacks.io. I'm already logged in, but the first thing you're going to want to do when you come to our website is come to the top right here and sign in. If this is the first time you're using the DoraHacks platform, there's a few different options to sign in. You can sign in with a wide variety of wallets, right? With MetaMask, with Wallet Connect, with Kepler, with even Bitcoin Lightning Wallet, with your email, all sorts of options. I imagine that most people will want to use the sign in with GitHub option. However, this is a hackathon. You'll be linking your GitHub, to your submissions anyway. So I would highly recommend signing directly with your GitHub, and then you'll basically be brought to this page here. You can navigate over to hackathons, right here, and you'll see all of the hackathons. Here's the sliding bar at the top. You'll be able to see all of the different hackathons that are going on right now. And of course, this is opening ceremony for the Avalanche hackathon, and this is the biggest hackathon of the winter. So it's listed right at the top here, very easy to find. And then you'll click on this and you'll be brought to here, Avalanche Frontier. This is the page that Usman was just sharing, for his portion of the opening ceremony. So I'm just confirming everyone can see my screen. Usman, give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, so we're back to the hackathon page. And as Usman walked through, you can find all of the detail related to the hackathon right here on the main page, right? There's also a submission guide if you're interested in taking a look. You can see all of the hackers that have pre-registered for this hackathon already. As you can see, there's been 184. So this is already gearing up to be a very large hackathon. And then once people start submitting their projects, you'll be able to see all of the submitted biddles here. So once the actual hack kicks off in a couple of days, we'll start seeing these flow in on this tab here. But just so you know, this is where you're going to find basically the vast majority of the information that Usman just went over right here on the details tab. What I want to show you real quick is how you actually submit a project. And that's with this button right here, submit biddle. Because this is probably as I mentioned, might be the first time a lot of you are using DoraHacks, you're going to be clicking the create a new biddle button right here. This is a brand new hackathon related to Avalanche. So you're going to want to create a new biddle related to the tracks of this hackathon. So you're going to click this button right here. And then you're going to enter in all of the information. This is essentially you creating your project profile, right? So right here, you're going to give it a name. You're going to provide a logo for it. And then you're going to give a tagline, your vision. If you're like, Airbnb consumer app on Avalanche, right? That would be something related to Avalanche SocialFi, something nice and short that just gives the judges an understanding about what it is you're building. Right here in the biddle description, this is where you go in depth on the actual description of your biddle. You can insert, you can write paragraphs about what you're doing. You can have lists, you can insert graphs, you can insert GIFs, videos, etc. Everything related to your project goes right here. Basically the pitch goes right here. Everything you've done, everything you've worked on in a very detailed description typed in right here. And then as you continue scrolling, you can give it some tags to make it more easily discoverable on the website, right? Obviously this is crypto Web3, right? And then you have all of these options here. These are optional to click. This is really, as I mentioned, you're adding like hashtags to your project just to make it more descriptive. That way, if someone's on the DoraHacks platform and they're searching through different hashtags, different categories, they can find your project. But don't worry about getting it exactly correct. Obviously, you're going to want to click the Avalanche one if you do go through this. But really, you can click any hashtags that are applicable to your project. As we scroll down here, here's where you start inserting some more important links. You're going to want to attach your GitHub repo. And then you're going to want to attach your project demo, a project demo and a demo video. They sound kind of similar, but where they're different is a demo is like the URL of your project itself. Like if you have a working front end, that's what you would put here. And then a demo video is actually a video walkthrough of you explaining your project, showing off its functionality, right? Just like a typical demo day video. So you're going to want to attach both of them. Down here, you're going to want to provide all of the team information. Maybe it's a 3-person team. You each worked on different aspects of the project. You can also provide your background as well. And right here is where you invite team members to the project itself. That way their DoraHacks profiles get added to this project profile, right? So if I want to add Chris from DoraHacks to my project, I just type in his email, click this button. He gets an email saying, please join as a creator of this biddle. And that's it. Then he'll get added to this project. So this is how you add your team members right here. Social links, it's for hackathons is usually pretty fun if you don't have one to create some social profiles for your projects, especially if it's a project that you're interested in working on long term and bringing it to production. It's a great way to build early traffic. So I'd highly recommend making a Twitter for your project. And if you have any other social media accounts, you're welcome to link them here as well. We also are going to require some verification information so we can verify the owners of each biddle and make sure that it's a legit project. It's also how we'll be able to contact you, after the hackathon to receive prize payment if you're one of the selected winners, and also provide you with any feedback from judges. So definitely include a Telegram. And then if you have a Discord, or WhatsApp, or a WeChat, you're also welcome to provide that as well. There's even a button here that says team recruiting. If you are maybe a solo builder and you have a great idea, because basically how this works is once you make your biddle, you can update and submit it. You can update it at any time prior to the end of the hackathon, end of the submission period. So if you just have an idea and you just want to get something started, right, you're going to work on it over the course of time and you get something up and you maybe are open to welcoming additional team members, you can click this button here, and then everyone that's participating in the hackathon will know that you're open to working with team members and are looking for team members. Once you do all of that, you'll click right here, agree to the terms of service, and then you'll click this button here, submit biddle and back. And this is really important to remember because what you've just done is created your project profile, right? But you haven't actually used that project profile and applied to this Avalanche hackathon yet. So once you click that button, submit biddle and back, your profile has been created, your project profile has been created, and then you'll see right here where it says apply with existing biddle. You'll be able to click this button here, and you'll be able to select the project biddle that you just created, right? So I have a test one that I just created, so I'll do that. But the name of your biddle will appear there. And then right here, you'll select a track, right? So say I'm doing something consumer facing, I'm going to select the Socialify track, right? And then I will agree one more time, and then I'll submit. And then your project has been officially submitted to this specific hackathon. It'll take anywhere from 2 to 3 days to get verified on the back end, make sure everything's in order, and then it will be made visible on the website as a project that's been submitted and a project that's involved in this hackathon. And that's basically it. And if anyone has any questions on that, they're welcome to reach out to me. Once again, like on Telegram, on Twitter. You can ask the DoraHacks Twitter or Telegram as well, or Discord, and we'll be able to walk you through the process if you run into any hiccups, but should be pretty straightforward for most people. Okay, so that's basically all I wanted to show you from my side. Usman, is there any last words from you before we wrap up this first opening ceremony?
No, thanks for that, Brian. I just want to say thanks to everyone who's participating, everyone who's watching. Again, we're really looking forward to seeing all the cool projects that are built. I'm in that Telegram chat, so if you guys have any questions about it, just ping me in the chat or you can message me privately. But looking forward to seeing some projects that are built.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. Big thanks to the Avalanche and Avalabs team and all of the bounty sponsors as well for cobbling this hackathon together. I know it's a big process getting so many different really exciting parties involved. So I really want to just give my heartfelt appreciation for all of the hard work you've put into this thus far. And we're so excited to be bringing it to developers, really interested to see what you get built, what you start to build. And we think it's going to be a really exciting hackathon. So really looking forward to reviewing the project soon. And big thanks to everyone in the audience who took the time to tune in to this opening ceremony. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to be a major resource for you during this hackathon, Usman, as well. And, basically good luck. And be on the lookout for future announcements and future developer programming, which is going to be kicking off in short. But With that being said, this is the end of the closing ceremony. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Take care, guys.